Now, I thought that cool enough to turn back around. So, let's stop and let's get a better look at that. I'm on my way to work, getting ready to film my my mag repair line video. And I had to show you guys this. It's just something else. Let's get out and look. I probably look like a crazy person. What's new? It's all right. I mean, just look at that. I mean, it's hard sometimes, but it sure is rewarding. Well, a little bit something different. Like I said, we're repairing my mag line today, my old daily driver. What is my daily driver? If y'all want to see what I operate every day more than any other tool, let me know. I'll give you a full tour of this bad boy. I gotta do a little research on it first before I can go and give you a bunch of specs. Yeah, this is what I do every day. This here is a Winx magnet. It's a 250, 240 volt DC electromagnet that I use to pretty much play with metal all day. It's like real life magneto. I'm not going to bore you too much with all that stuff. Again, bleep bloop it if you want to see me do a full recap on the old strap handler. But I had a massive amount of rain yesterday. When I was magging, again, that's 240 volts. So if there's an arc or a short or anything like that, it's going to catch on fire real fast. And that's what was happening. It caught on fire yesterday, right here at this junction where it goes into the magnet. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to clean all this up so that way I can get a good look at what we got to do. Hopefully I won't have to go inside the magnet here and run me a new line. Normally what I'll do, because this stuff gets, I mean, I replaced it probably 20 times. But this part right here gets pretty ate up. That's why I've got like a little jacket and housing around it. But right here, it's a lot of floppity. So that wears the wire and it breaks. So that's what we got here. We got a nip somewhere down here that's causing a little bit of smoke every time I mag. So I need to clean all this up, take this all off, get a good feel of what exactly I've got to do to replace it. I've got some new mag line. I've got some new heavier duty mag line. It's a welding wire, actually. It's 1 gauge. I'm going to put that on, and I've got one of those TIG jacket jobbity-doos, leather things that go down. We're going to put that on there, and hopefully that'll give it a little bit more rigidity. It's hotter than crap. I'm yelling because I got lots of stuff going on. We'll come back when that thing's all cleaned up. All right, let's take a look at what we got. I've already got more connectors than I do wire. I mean, can you really even call it wire? I've got a connector here, I've got a connector here, I've got one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. So I think it's time to replace it. I'll get you a little sneak peek. Ooh, Lord, look at my view every day. Try to be in a bad mood outside like this. It's almost nearly impossible. If y'all want to see that thing, let me know. Yeah, I might be moving the channel in a different direction, I don't know. But yeah, we got this right here. So this is a water hose, water or gas hose that I actually use as a jacket. That goes all the way up to there. So I actually need to get rid of, I want to redo that. So I need to take that down from up there, and my crane's creeping down a little bit on me. So I need to get all that stuff taken apart, figure out where my boo-boo is, and we'll come back. It is a hobbled mess. I didn't realize how many times I had to get in here and repair this thing. I mean, I've got some here, some down there. I cleaned all the mud and muck and various substances that were down here, and there's my problem. it's just too far gone. I'm gonna have to get into here. And what I did last time, they put RTV red sealant in there, and that hardens up real hard, but it's real hard to get out. What I put in there is I put hot glue in there. It's cheap. You can get it with a torch, and normally you can heat it back up and get it back out. So I actually have to do that, unfortunately. I still got a lot of work to do today too. This is before my days even started. I came in, my batteries on my loader wouldn't start. I had to, that was an ordeal. And so now I have to do this. So yeah, we'll pick out all that hot glue. That's the only way I know to do it, because I can't keep putting electrical tape around that. That's just not going to do it. That was super cheap. I'd reuse the hot glue, huh? And I'm sure there's the right kind of electrical goo that's supposed to go down in here, but when you're in the field, you got to think, I guess, like MacGyver, really. I mean, I've got a hardware store here in town. That's all I've got. So I've got to think about how can I repair this stuff with what's right here, because I need to keep working, you know? Come on. Well, it's official. Hot glue does work. I think that's the second time I've done that with hot glue. This part sucks. I wish I was y'all, because y'all didn't have to do all that. That sucked. Let's look. And if anybody on any of the other job sites that we have, this is what the inside of a magnet looks like. It doesn't matter which way you hook it up. Pretty sure, because I've reversed these before and it still worked. I think that's the benefit of using DC. It's just direct current. It sends it either way. I don't know, but I got to get those off. You can see where the nick was that was affecting us on the outside. Yeah, so I got to do a little bit better job of running that through there and maybe putting some kind of jacket on it or something. Yeah. So I'll get that off, I'm gonna take it off right there, and then we'll start putting some stuff back together. There's a 1-inch nut in there, and you can only get, I don't know, what is that, quarter turn each time? Maybe not even that. Just take your time. I mean, is it ever gonna end? It is. I don't know how much of that you can see, but if you just take a screwdriver and try to find where your wire was, 9 times out of 10 you can get it in there. Oopsie. And you can kind of get that. Come on now. You want to get that thing out of there, because that compresses against your wire once it's in there, and then get your old janky wire out. Can y'all see that? Yeah, you can see that now. So that goes in there. I had to take my hat off. And then the nut, this goes in, your wire goes into there. This goes on, compressing your wire into that thing, and then your nut pushes that and compresses that down onto there. That makes sense? So that's what we got to do. And sometimes you can be slick and just take your screwdriver and just kind of slide it back. and you can get your wire. But I go for my wire from the bottom side, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. Don't lose those in your nuts. They don't orientate. See how it's got a little valley? And that compresses onto your wire. Put those, and that goes right there. I don't even know if that's gonna do anything, but I'm gonna keep it anyway. And I'll get that all blowed out, and I'll run 2 new wires in. I've got that nice and clean, and I'll probably put something around a hose. Something kind of insulated jacket. Oh my God. That hurts the old knees, been down. I'm gonna have to work around this camera. I don't have a camera that zooms. I should probably invest in that, but I really don't feel like it. I've gotten one, and then I pull my one tight as I possibly can without pulling the other one out. Oh, excuse me. And then, again, you're just gonna have to work with the shadow and the glare. I mean, I'm outside, it's like 90, 100 degrees. Ah. You wanna pull your second one in more than you think you need to, because you're gonna have to maneuver it down and then get it to it's nearly impossible here. It's like I joke, sometimes some of these machines, I feel like they've designed the entire machine around one hydraulic hose. I feel like they put the wire in first and then they build the rest of the magnet. Without messing up your wire there. Come on in. Come on, just do it for me. First one was so easy. I need a pry bar. What I need, my magnet's done creeped almost all the way down. There we go. Something like that. So you can only use a certain gauge wire because you need it to be small enough to go through all these holes and fit into all these connectors, but then it's got to be big enough to withstand the flopping around every day. Is this exciting? I mean, this is what I did today. And then you take this one and see, I had to you got to do that without spreading that out, because that was a ferrule. I don't know the terms. This part sucks. Seckies. Well, sometimes it's easier just to put it on. And then that, make sure you don't have that cross-threaded. Give it a little shake, twist, that's cross-threaded. I'm gonna fiddle with that and get that back on. You basically see what we're doing here. And then I always try to do the shrink wrap, and I almost forgot. I had to run that one through that way, but before you go too far, always make sure you got it on there, because you can't put it on if the wire's already connected. I like these little aluminum junction deals. I should probably they got gel that you're supposed to put in here with them, so that way the copper and the aluminum don't get contact, and the oxidation and something else, a bunch of science to it. But I buy the big long ones and I cut them in 2. That way they won't touch each other. And then another thing I like to use, I like to use this thermal tape. Whenever it gets hot and it touches itself, it like acts like a jacket, but I'll go around that again, and then I'll go around it together. That way no water or anything will get in there. Because you saw how bright that aluminum was. That's actually been up here for longer than, I think, over a year. About the time you got here, we started doing it. And you see how good that looked, and I didn't use any of that paste or any of that crap. Not about that much. I like it because you can peel it, pull it off, and it's not really tacky to your hands. It's only tacky when it gets in contact with itself. I think that's pretty cool. I just run a little bit around there as like a added measure. Those two connectors are going to be rubbing each other. And it just gives it a little bit of extra protection. I don't have to think about it as much. And there's been times where I've, instead of using this and shrink wrap, I've just had to use a bunch of electrical tape. And if you've done that, you know exactly what that's like. You use a full roll of electrical tape, and taking it off is an absolute nightmare. That stuff, I like that stuff. See? Pretty good. What's everybody doing today? Y'all doing good? I've had better days. It's out here in the sun. It's not fun. Out here in the sun, it's not much fun. But we're almost done. And then we'll test it before I take it any further. Here we are. And them guys stick together. And I'll run some more around the outside. Matter of fact, I'll probably do electrical tape around this one. I just buy the cheap stuff from Harbor Freight because I'm awesome. Tra la 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 la. And then I'll run my jacket and my spring below this. That way the weight of the cable is on the cable and it's not on the connector. I learned that the hard way. You always want to get your support for your wire above your connection, so that way your connection's not holding the support of the wire, your wiring. Because that'll be the first thing that pops off is a spot where a connector's at. And I need to get in there and raise the crane up, raise the arm up. Leave the hydraulics engaged, maybe it won't creep down so much. I did that part because I'm short, and you raise it up, and then you want this. Remember, you want a little bit of this to kind of be up there, because that's where you want this to hang down from. And then you just take the wire. I won't mind going down the center. Try not to get to the side, because the side will get stuck in between that thick glue there. Give myself a little bit extra because I can always pull it up, but I want extra. Something like that. Maybe a little bit more. And then I keep the crane running, but I've got a switch where I can turn the magnet off. You don't want to touch 240 DC. Ooh, it tickles. Now I've got a decision to make right now. I want to go over that. I went ahead and got these quick disconnects for welding leads. You know, they go in like that and they twist, but that is a lot on my Maglon. I mean, that is a lot for me to try to keep right here and keep safe, because that don't want to flop. That means it's going to want to flop right there and right there. So what I'm going to do, because I don't plan on taking this magnet off on other job sites where we move around a lot, we do that because when we went to go move, you can just disconnect it, take your magnet off, set it on the truck, get on the truck, you ain't got to worry about it. Because you can't haul it with it connected for some reason. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use these guys right here because they're smaller. I can put the heat shrink around it. I can kind of hide them a little bit better. And that way, and I can take these. This part is my hard line going into the magnet. I don't want these close right there. I want this longer. So if I ever, you know, experience, I've left it long and it worked out better. But so I'll put these right here, and then I'll be able to clamp my hose down, or my cable, right here. So hopefully this section will not move very much. I know that it is going to move, but maybe it won't move so much. We'll get this tied up, and then what I'll do is I'll click the magnet on, make sure it's working. Fill that full of hot glue again. I mean, it worked really good. So I'll probably do that. Fill that full of hot glue. And then I've got, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I got this to try to put on the outside of the cable, because it's not gonna be as heavy as the hose. And I think the hose that I was using, it's like an inch airline, industrial airline. I mean, that's pretty heavy. It does give me my protection, but I'm really careful when I sweep, so I shouldn't have a problem. I was tired of doing this. Yep, I was ready to be done for the day. All right, let's get that together. I'll show you what it looks like when it's together. And if you like content like this, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know that you like it. That's the best way to communicate with me, is to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and leave me a comment, because that's, you know, that way we get to connect a little bit. And that's the best way you can show your support, because YouTube likes that stuff. It's an algorithm. That way my stuff will be seen by more people, and I'd like that. I'll do that, get back. I gotta get done out here. I ain't even done any work yet. What I did is I put those little bitty aluminum connectors on there, and then I wrapped it with that weather stuff. I mean, this stuff works great until you got to get back in there, and then it's an absolute nightmare. I've got this really big heat shrink tube here. How are you holding the camera, Ryan? In between my knees. A little white lithium grease to help that slide right on there. Look at that yet. That looks party. Look how party that looks. And then we'll just, with the torch, make sure you get all that burning white lithium fumes right in the old nose. That way, you know, if you're in California, you'll get cancer. Isn't that funny? Other places, you don't get cancer, but golly, just about everything in California is going to give you cancer. Yeah, that's hot. I bet you that's hot. And see, that is tremendously better than having this big old connector right there, because that's just asking for that spot to wear and that spot to wear. And see, what I'll do now, that's hot by the way, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that little welding jacket on there, and then maybe even put some of that hose material I've got right here. That way I can kind of get that to sit still. See, it's still hot by the way. See what we're doing? Yeah. All right, so let's I guess we need to click it on, see if all that hard work works. I've done all this before and clicked it on, and it hadn't worked before, so that sucks. So we're gonna try that. We need a piece of metal. Would you think it wasn't gonna work? No, I'm good at what I do. All right, now we gotta get our spring, because I like it. Again, can you see what I'm doing? You can't see me. The key to successful YouTube videos is moving the camera as many times as possible. So we'll get this, we'll probably put that hose thing around this and get that to sit on there like that. Yeah? This is actually the same spring from the zipline brake video. If y'all haven't seen that, I'll put that up now. It's my most popular video. It's got like 7,000 views. All right, let's do that. And then we'll come back, we'll look at it all purty, and then that's gonna be it. That way, if I do nick something, at least I got some give and it's not just pulling directly on the wire. We'll try this. I've never tried that. I just got it from a welding supply shop. I think it'll work. Only thing left we got to do is fill that up full of hot glue, and we've already tested it. Everything works. It's time to run some material, I think. It sure did work out good last time I did it like this. I'm just going to do it again. I did a big line of them like that. I'm just trying to cover up the connectors in here, so if water or anything gets in here, it won't penetrate it.
Yeah.
Probably could have used wax too. That'd be another alternative. I could use some really heavy molding wax. That would have worked, but this is at my hardware store. This is something I know I can get a bunch of. Heck, I can get it at Walmart. I'm just going around making sure all the corners are nice and filled up. And there you go. It's done. Yeah? And done and done. You just want to make sure you got it and it kind of folds over the edges. But there it is. All right, we'll run it through the plant. We'll get caught up. All today. Hey, and again, if you liked this, let me know. I mean, I do repairs like this pretty much every day. I'd like to start moving again the shop and the videos and everything kind of out, getting a little bit bigger. That way I'm not so landlocked in the shop. So, if y'all enjoyed it, let me know. We'll run this stuff through the plant.